Hi.
Hi. No, it's slow. It's okay. I can do this. All right. Hi, guys. No, it's kind of crazy. I'll sit down in here. Hi, everyone. I hope everyone had a great week.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, belated. So we're here. This week was This week with Luke. Just a recap. Like he had the surgery 3 weeks ago. Yeah, and
The stitches are all
out.
done.
Yeah, so he's good. He's having he's gonna get admitted next Monday. So he's gonna have his circuit change. I think we mentioned that before. So it's gonna be Monday, this Monday, upcoming Monday, 21st, and we're supposed to stay in the hospital for one night. But if they need more time to adjust the settings, then we're gonna stay for 2 nights. So that's gonna be easy. I'm actually trying to see if all his following appointments with the specialists, they can come see him now. Like he has cardiologist and he has dentist. They had dentists in the hospital, and he has something else. What is it? I don't remember now. But there's someone else that I was wondering if they could come and see him while he's admitted, because we're not really gonna be doing much, especially when he's awake. He doesn't like we tried this circuit before, so I think he's gonna be fine. They really want to see when he sleeps.
Yeah, it's almost like a mini sleep study. So
Yeah. So we have great news about most of you guys know that we have a background in sports. Richard, triathlon. I started swimming when I was like 9 years old, I think, because of my brother, and then he did triathlon. He started doing triathlon when he was 12, and then because of him, I started doing triathlon. So I did triathlon for like almost 20 years, and he's still going. So and Richard, he did triathlon for I don't know how many years, and 12 years, and he did 18 Ironmans. 18, yeah. I actually tried to train for 1 Ironman, and then I got pregnant. So,
which is like
it was not meant to be. Yeah, it was not meant to be. No, I don't think about doing an Ironman at all ever in my life. It was really hard. I can't imagine doing training for 18 Ironmans like Richard did. So it's a lot of effort, a lot of discipline, a lot of training. I did 3 marathons, and it was really hard training. My family is still going on sports, but we have this background, and sports is in our blood. So there's no although I don't want to do an Ironman, whenever I start having time, I do want to exercise again, which I'm not doing right now, but once in a while I go for a run and I come back, I'm like all sore. But Richard, he always had this dream of, you can tell them.
Yeah, I always wanted to run with Luke, like when I decided to have a baby, I was like, first thing I was looking for is like running strollers and stuff like that. So when Luke and all that happened, like I was a little upset that I wouldn't be able to run with him. Of course, like we always said, like I not necessarily want him to be a runner or anything. Like I don't want to force, but on a stroller, I think it would be nice. And then, like I've been having this idea of how to support both machines and run at the same time.
Amazing.
So I was like, okay, you know what? I've been postponing this too much for too long. it's gonna be now or never. So I went out to Home Depot. I bought the woods, and I just based on intuition because I'm like no engineer or anything like that. So I just did everything by intuition, and then I built something to what are you writing?
I'm just gonna put Luke's Facebook so people see that I posted the video there.
Oh, we can post the video
Afterwards in the
afterwards on the comments, so you guys can see. It ended up being pretty cool, but I was pretty emotional yesterday. We did a bit. I think we did like 3/4 of a mile, like close to a mile.
Yeah.
And so it was like super awesome for me.
Yeah.
Like, it was one of the best feelings ever. And if you look at the video, like you can see, like I'm laughing like right away when we start running. Like when I actually saw that the structure that I did actually worked.
This is like
and it was like it's pretty amazing because I could run like if Carol was following me with
and that's where the machines are, right there on the bottom.
If she was following me with the suction machine or something, but like I wanted to
be independent.
just be independent, just me and Luke. So the funny thing is, everything happens for a reason, right? So this weekend there is a foundation called Two Angels, where the family had 2 kids with neuromyopathy.
2 daughters.
They're one with the force now, but they had 2 daughters with neuromyopathy. So they created this foundation that helps kids with disability. But so the 5K is this Sunday.
Get you another
so we're like, okay, the structure worked. I know I can run a 5K pretty much anytime. It's not gonna be fast, but I'm carrying on the shoulder. I'm carrying about 47 pounds, so it's not like I'm gonna be going fast. Anyways.
You wanna say hi first?
You wanna say hi? So then we decided, like, okay, this is it. This is gonna be our what do you call our beginning and our project. We're gonna run this 5K. Then, if it goes well, who knows? We might do a 10K or even a half marathon. But one thing too is like I do need to start running a little bit more, and especially because there's a little bit less oxygen in Denver. But other than that, it's all good. So that's what's going on. That's what I think the highlight of this week was.
Yeah, it's pretty inspiring for me to see, what Richard does, and he's like now he has his project of doing a skateboard. Yeah.
Well, I had this idea because Luke is really strong in the legs, right? So I had this idea of like, okay, because I was on the top of skateboard when I was 2 years old. My brothers were skateboarders, and they put me on the skateboard when I was 2. And I don't remember, but the stories they tell me, like my mom freaked out when they saw me on the playground standing up on the skateboard, and I was like 2 years old. But anyway, so I was like, okay, Luke can do this too. So he's strong in the legs. So I found a skateboard that, have a little bit drop in the middle, so it's closer to the ground. Then I had this idea, I'm gonna build like a support, like almost like a chair for Luke, and with a support for the machine, where hopefully he'll be able to move his legs and he'll be able to do whatever he wants. So it will give him a little bit of independence. So there will be
hi, Grandma.
something really nice to do it. And hopefully I can get it done today. If not, probably tomorrow or at the end of the week. But I want to, so he can go places by himself. So
Just move
we
around a
shall
little
see.
bit.
I have a project that's actually where I put the video on. It's called the Not So Fashion Show, and because it's not about fashion, it's about reality. And then, so anyways, I posted videos in there, and I will post a link later on in the comments about the video of the running. And as soon as I get the skateboard done, most likely I'll be able to post a video, and hopefully Luke will be able to do it by himself the way we want to.
Yeah, so it's pretty nice that he does that. I have no creativity whatsoever. I am just like raw as it comes. So when Richard tells me this, like, you know, ideas, I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then when I see it, I was like, what? So
Yeah,
it's pretty nice, and I can enjoy it too. Like, I can go for a run with Luke. Now that we have that, you know, eventually.
So it's funny because my first trial with the support that I did with the machine, Kara was like, nah, I won't let you run with that.
Yeah.
So I went back.
Well, I
and
still want to
fixed
go
it,
on the bike right next to you.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, well, it's hard to run, like, period. It's harder to run here. And then you're pushing, you know, Luke is 25 pounds. The machine's probably like another 25 pounds.
No, it's probably like another 15 altogether.
Yeah. So you're pushing like, what, 40 pounds?
40 pounds. Yeah.
So you're pushing 40 pounds, and if you need something like urgent, it's gonna be hard to think and do it.
With the lack of oxygen.
Yeah, it's like what? Yeah. So I still want to go on the bike right now. Yeah, right, Ricky. You think that's a good idea? So yeah,
Say hi?
that's what I'm gonna do on the 5K, and I'm gonna go on the bike right next to him, which is good exercise for me, anyways. Yeah, so that's pretty awesome that he does like a lot of stuff, and I think it's very inspiring for everybody that, you know, he doesn't give up on, and always help us to make Luke do more things like normal, you know, like, oh, we can run with Luke, and yeah, we have to kind of hurry up because soon he's not gonna fit in that stroller.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually looking at the specifications for the stroller. It holds only like 57 pounds. So with everything combined, we're about 47. So we got 10 pounds. So if we want to keep doing this later on, then we're probably gonna need to have a little stronger stroller, but
and another thing I want to talk about is it's actually something that I felt last week a little bit. We work Luke very hard, and he what?
No, I'm just laughing because
yeah. So we work him, like a lot, and he does a lot. And we have said this before that he's really, he works hard. Like, he barely has like kid time. He barely has it.
Well, as a side note, he loves his therapies.
Yeah,
like, It was funny because after the
one
surgery,
of the therapists, PT, he likes. And he likes the fact that he's getting stronger. So it's very motivating for him that he's like, he sits up and everybody's like, yay! And then he's like really, like, he wants to do it more and more and more. So, you know, he likes that feeling of being stronger.
And it's funny because like he didn't sit down much and didn't do the modified squats, which in our YouTube video, there is a video that I show how we do it. But he was what 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks without doing it. And the minute that we put him on the ball to do the squats, he was like so happy. You know, remember that day, the first day after the surgery. So it's
Yeah.
rewarding, but you know, like we push him hard.
Yeah, I can imagine being like laying down all the time, and for he's used to be out there and stuff, and then now he's laying down for almost 2 weeks. Not laying down, but like at least.
Yeah, he reduced
Yeah,
his
a lot,
movements
yeah,
quite
a
a
lot.
bit.
So last week we started like, cause he's able to do a lot of stuff. So we went, we went out and we did like a lot with him. We almost went back to where he was before the surgery, and I think that was a little too early. We should have taken it a little slower. And after like a few days, he was really tired, and I started to doubt myself and question if he was getting tired or if he was getting like weaker by the day. And I don't thinking now. I think I didn't think straight, because like there's no way someone is gonna be like from one day to the other is gonna be like weaker for the rest of their lives. So so that was something that I was kind of like for a moment there I was feeling like, well, why do I have to push him so hard? Why do I have to do things that make him uncomfortable sometimes? And I know that makes him stronger. So, yeah.
No, he's sorry. As you can see, he loves books and he complains when he's done.
You don't want that one?
No.
So, yeah, so I'm like, why? And I happened to go on Saturday. I went out of the house after like a month or so with a friend, and
which, by the way, she was out for 5 hours.
Okay.
And
I texted one time.
What? No, and then she texted me one time, but when she came home, like I actually made a video live on Instagram saying like, listen, she was out. I know that the woman and the mom, like, they're really protective. So I was just joking, saying like, hey, the house didn't get on fire. He got fed. He took a shower. He had trach care done. So everything was done when she got home.
Yeah.
Just
that was really nice that Daddy gave me that time off, because I felt good, And I went to meet a friend who, we mentioned about her before. She has a child with the same condition as Luke, and he's 5 years old now. So a lot of the things I don't understand, it's hard for us now. Like when the kid is a baby, you just try to like figure out what the baby wants or is having or why they're crying. But Luke, it's like 2 years old, so he's grown up, and you see he has needs and wants and stuff, but he can't communicate that yet. So that part is hard to understand, if he's tired, if he's not tired, if he doesn't want to do that, if that's too much or too hard. So when I talk to my friend who has a 5-year-old, and he communicates, 100%, he talks, so it's easier. Like, it's nice to hear from her and to hear what her kid says, and kind of like wonder, is Luke feeling the same way? And it kind of matches sometimes. So I told her about this feeling of like, oh my God, it feels like so much therapy, and he's all, he's tired, I don't know, and then she told me a story that I hope she doesn't mind me sharing, but she told me a story about him and doing something that he wanted to do, but it was too high for him, which is like standing up, but he wanted to do it. And when he did it, when he said, no, I don't want to do it right now, and she said, what's going on? I know you can do it. And he said to her, oh my God, that's so heartbreaking. Yeah. He said to her, it's really hard to be brave all the time. It made me cry, which means like, I can totally see Luke saying that, it's hard to be brave all the time because he's like brave, and everybody looks at him, and everybody, you know, this other kid, everybody looks at them. It's like, oh my God, they're so like such a strong kid, you know, and strong-minded, and you know, they always tried their best, and they always doing their best, and yeah, but you know, can I be? It's not like be weak one day. It's just like, can they be? Can he just chill? Yeah, can he just chill for a minute? You know, it's almost like he's running an Ironman every day. You know, a comparison with other like with the sport. He's running an Ironman every day when we're like back to back therapy, and then he runs an Ironman 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row, and in the fifth day he's like, come on, I'm tired, but I'm tired, and I don't need only one day. I need like a few days off, and that's what pretty much we did, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, Friday was a little. We still did some therapy, but then Saturday and Sunday we just chill.
Yeah, and then Monday was fine, and then yesterday actually he was like amazing.
Yeah, was the best.
Yeah, he was like amazing. He woke up in a good mood. He slept a lot, but he woke up in a good mood. He was like down for anything and everything. And then we're like, okay, since he's like that, we just overdid it again. And then today he's tired. Yay!
Yeah, that's one thing that, you know, like it's kind of hard. Like with adults, like when I coach people with adults, it's a lot easier to see like when they're tired or not. But with kids, you know, like especially for him that doesn't communicate as much, it's so hard to see if they are tired or not, and so we gotta go by feeling and all that. But we are getting, like, comparing with the beginning, we are getting to a point where it's becoming easier to understand him, like the thin line, the signs and stuff. But still, sometimes we still do a little bit more, but you know, like, to be honest, that because we are pushing him, we've seen a lot of good results. So it's hard to gauge. It's like, okay, he's getting so good at it, but let's just, you know, not do as much because we see the results right away. So that's the thin line where we need to find like the closer to perfect balance. So
yeah, and it's funny too because as I was talking to my friend, we were talking about like, wow, when they get sick, what do you do? What do you say? And you know, we talked before, like we rather take care of him at home. So you're not just a mom or a dad. You're just like you make the calls, like, you know, the decisions on medical stuff. Like before we even call the doctors, we already tested and try a few things. And when we call the doctors, it's just to kind of confirm our theory. So it's, you become your kid's biggest advocate, and like your kid's doctor, your kid's, therapist. Yeah. So you have to kind of understand and know the science of being medically, medical, like some medical stuff going on, or like with little physical stuff going on, and you have to make the call. So sometimes it's hard. Like we are not perfect, and really far from that. And
speak for yourself.
And sometimes we try to, sometimes we try to, okay, let's pull this together. Like, yesterday when we did, we're like, okay, he's doing great, let's keep it going. And, we didn't pace ourselves because we kind of get excited as parents, and we forgot about the part that we are therapists too, or, we forget about this and that. So it's a game like any parenthood. It's a game where you just try your best and you do what's best for your kid, thinking that, not knowing, but doing your best and thinking that this is the best thing for them. And sometimes it's not exactly that, and it happens.
And within that, we're trying to find a way to get him more independence.
Yeah.
So because like when
We
we
do
play
need
with
him
him
to-
a lot, it kind of
Yeah.
get a little physical, because that's what that's what we try to do, like we try to combine the playing with the therapy. But so if he get more independence, like for example playing with the iPad, like it's great because he can move around and he can play by himself. That gives him a little bit of independence, but like it's hard because if you go to a kid store, like a toy store, like if you look at stuff at his age, like there's not pretty much anything that he can do. He can use his toy because everything requires like a physical or like pressing really hard, and that's hard for him. So what we're trying now is actually give him more iPad time because it's easier to touch and to control, and he can have his own independence with that. So
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah. So we were trying to get him more independent, and I forgot what I was gonna say. So we talking about the fact that the parents have to always kind of make the decisions. We as a parent, period, we always have to look for the best for our kids, and as first time parents we don't know everything, and even if you have like 2-3 kids, I bet
every kid is different.
yeah, everybody is different. No, it's not even that, it's just like there's not a formula where you can do the right thing all the time. I guess nowadays is much better than it was back in the days where there wasn't internet or Google. Nowadays you can still Google and try to find out things, but back in the days there wasn't. So
yeah, and I think I mentioned this on.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you. And I'm saying that it's just like, talk the talk, but don't walk my walk. Pretty much, I'm saying that, but I don't really apply it to myself because I'm really hard on myself, and I sometimes I want to try to be perfect, and the more I try, when I make a mistake, it's really hard on me. So it's not just about being a parent of special needs kids. It's like about
being a parent.
Being a parent, period. Yeah. If you try that hard, and I'm trying to exercise that, it's okay. I did my best, and that's all you have to do. Because there's never a perfect formula for raising your kids, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's said on the last episode, I don't remember, but the other day on Instagram I saw a picture of mom to be, and she was writing what to expect when you're expecting and what to expect in the first year. She was looking for recommended books, and then I'll be honest, I said listen, every kid is different, so it is what it is. You got to go through intuition, but it's hard when you do a mistake or you don't think you did perfectly, but I think the most important part is to understand that you did your best, and go from there. But it's hard, and we've been a parent of a medical fragile kid. It's even harder because
mistake can make
one little mistake can be can give a big damage, but
yeah. Which brings me to one example that I'm not really proud of myself telling this. I'm actually ashamed, but
yeah,
you don't know what it is.
I think I know. We were talking about it today, right? We were talking about it today.
Is there something else that I don't know?
No, go ahead. I don't want to get in trouble on live camera.
No, it was last week after we did the live. We went to the pool the next day, and then I'm holding Luke, Okay. I'm holding.
I forgot about that.
So it's something else. What was it?
No, I thought we were gonna say that from that day that you were sleeping and.
Oh yeah. No, not that. Well, by the way, that's another thing I was gonna mention before I tell the story. Besides everything, okay. Okay, so special needs parents, like we talked about it before. We don't need to talk about it. We already talked about it. But the nursing, we don't have nursing, so we don't get sleep like much. We get some sleep, but we can't like really sleep like
deep sleep.
Deep sleep, yeah.
Because the truth is, like, when we're sleeping with him, it's very hard to be really comfortable because like you're constantly paying attention to the beeps and machines and like you. The truth is, when I sleep with him, like I wake up pretty much every day to at least like give it a glance of what's going on. Yeah. So that's
having point. That, thinking about that, and his machine, his food is like all messed up right now. So we have to wake up. Yeah, we have to wake up all the time. It's like a nightmare. So having said that, you have to wake up in the next day and you have to be 100% because he's sleeping. So you have to be 100% for him. And sometimes that's hard. I don't drink coffee, so Richard drinks coffee, but there's so much coffee in the world that you can drink that it's gonna make an effect. So
I started the day with a coffee this big.
So the next day we went to the pool on Thursday. We went to the pool. And I think that night I didn't have a great night.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, right. I barely slept. Yeah, I barely slept. So it was crazy. Then we went to the pool. Okay, in the pool it's like always a great time. And I don't blame the sleep, but I don't know. So we did all the stuff. We played. We looked at it, and then I'm holding him right before we get out of the pool. I'm holding and still playing with him, and on his circuit, which is great that we're gonna change this because it's a nightmare. This little hole here, if the water goes in, it can come to him, right? It technically is exhale, but it can come to him. So I was trying to make this circuit go up and don't touch the water. And I'm holding him with this. No, I'm holding him with this hand, and I'm trying to fix the circuit here. He's facing me, right? And then, while I was trying to fix the circuit, all of a sudden I hear bubbles. And yes, and I accidentally put Luke a little bit under the water, like not him himself, but a little bit of the trachea. And I freaked out a little bit. Like I didn't freak out in a bad way, but I was shaking. I'm like, okay, let's get out of here. And I told Richard, like, and then we started drying him and stuff, and I was like shaking, but Luke looked fine. Everything was fine with him.
Yeah, he was.
He didn't even cough, so, like, yeah.
I don't think any water got in.
Yeah, but I heard the bubbles, so I heard it, like some water went in, and when I turned it was seconds. When I looked back, I saw him, and then I put my hand out. I saw like the trach coming like out of the water. So that part, it was so hard. It was so hard. Like a lot of things could have gone very wrong. Like if he gets water in, he pretty much the water goes through his lungs, and that's scary.
Yeah, because the hole goes straight to his lungs.
Yeah, that's
so
scary.
If you look at the trach, every time they put the camera in it, like. The minute that the trach finish, you can see the right and left lung, like where it's going. So
yeah, it goes straight to his lung.
It goes straight to it.
So imagine me being a little bit of a perfectionist and having...
She beat herself up for the rest of the day.
Yeah, and having that done, it's like, oh. But I'm learning that, it's like experience life. If I want him to have that experience in the pool, I'm taking the risks of something happening. Not that was okay, but I was trying my best. I was holding. I'm like not throwing him inside the water, but I was trying my best. Yeah, I can't beat myself up for that, I think.
but you know.
I'm
And
gonna
then with
remember
that
for the
being
rest of my life.
said-
We haven't been to the pool after that yet.
Yeah.
We were going to go today, but I'm a little resistant. Resisting.
Well, but he's tired too, so we might skip it.
Yeah.
But anyways, like what we do with, you know, like that's one thing that, and I think that's, like when everything happened with Luke in the hospital, I don't know if you guys seen it, the movie Gladiator. There's a scene that the gladiator, he looks to the guys like, anybody serve the army? And they say like, yes. And then they say like, okay, we have a better chance if we stick together. So that's what I told Kara. That was the first thing, like on the first week I told her, like, listen, we have a better chance if we work together on this. So this is exactly what we do for the sleeping. You know, like we do 2 nights, one sleep with Luke, 2 nights to sleep solo. So in this way, at least like for 2 days we can get like a good night of sleep. And then the other day is kind of like a so-so. So in this way, we both don't get too tired. No? We don't get that exhausted. So
you wanna get
that's the best way that we found to work on it. So
we're gonna wrap it up, okay? All right, guys. We're gonna do Portuguese now. Vamos falar português agora. Vamos acabar esse e depois a gente vai pro português, tá?
And then remember, if you don't see it, you can check on YouTube. And you can also check on our Facebook and our website, GoLookWygands.Foundation.
Yes.
Also, we are making Nemaline myopathy wristbands, similar with this. So soon we're gonna be in the website. If you guys can help us create some more awareness for it, that would be great. And so we can get probably more money for research and stuff like that.
All right,
guys.
See you next week.
See you next week.
We are probably gonna be at home, but
yes, next week.
Yeah, on Wednesday. But if we're not, we can do it from the car or coming back or whatever. All right. See you guys.
See you. Thank you.
Say bye bye, Luki. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
No bye bye.
Bye bye.
Aqui.